Got some doggy activity. We'll allow the doggy activity to pass, and there it goes. And let's say a couple of things about Kriya Yoga, or yoga, the art of Kriya in the yoga idea. Okay, so you get into the body when you incarnate, and so your body needs to grow, and then you have this whole subconscious program that is running your system, and before you even hit Saturn return, which is around 28, you basically don't really know how this operating system, your subconscious, works. You got your numbers, there is your natal chart. So, if you think about life, in general, universe in general, it's created from a seed. Like a tree grows from a seed, the seed has the blueprint. So in the blueprint of the seed of the universe, it's called Logos, you have something that's basically an algorithm that generates the entire universe. And this algorithm consists of 12 different archetypes that are the main ingredients. Now, whether this is 12 or maybe you can also say it's 15, but and you can say it's 22 or you can say it's 144. So it's all a progression of numbers, and they also progress in a non-linear fashion. So it's not really important to even say if it's 12 or 10 or something like this, right? That's just a different perspective that we can assume when we describe it. But these 12, I'll just talk about it from the perspective of 12, they will generate. They will reiterate, the seed will make copy paste of itself, it will iterate itself, and then it will generatively create the whole universe. So when you come to the incarnation, you have your natal chart. That's the positions of the planets corresponding to the place of birth and so on. And this gives you, your individuality, a unique blueprint that is mathematically generated from the basic 12 archetypes. Because already in the incarnation you are coming into a developed complexity world that has been pre-generated, and then your destiny, your journey has also been pre-selected, and it will automatically develop as you go on. There will be a really intricate operating system in your subconscious that is driving how you perceive the world, how you interact with the world, your affinities, your reactions, your repulsions. And this amounts to a very complex operating system where your persona has many different sub-personas, or the persona is a conglomerate of very many different mini-identities. An identity is just an energy that you wear in your body that is corresponding to something in your circumstance. So I can have one identity corresponding to something, and then I can activate another energetically different identity corresponding to something else. Roles, you can also call them roles. So energetic memory of your operating system has many roles, and they seamlessly, automatically activate when you go and interact with the world, and in different settings, in different circumstances, you will automatically engage in a different role. So these roles are created from 12 base archetypes and combinations of these archetypes, so they become complex programs. You can think of it in terms of I was playing with Lego, the little building blocks, and so imagine that you have various shapes of Lego, but they come in 12 colors. So you can take, let's say, orange Lego and just build something from orange. It would be only in the mood of one planet or one archetype that is the color orange. And then you have black set, and you can build something, but it will be only in the mood of the black. But normally, how your programs are built in your personality, they're a combination of all these different colors, and then you create like little figures, little totems. And then you can create infinite number of them, basically. So these little totems, they are made of different colors, of these 12 shades of Lego. They become your internal totems, or archetypes. And they are the sub-archetypes of the 12 main archetypes, which are the colors. And so if you had a Saturn return, you may remember that around the age of 27, 28, 29, things stop to make sense. Like everything that you have been identified with, everything that you have been doing, pursuing, and whatnot, it starts to lose meaning, because what happens then? The autopilot, that is your natal program, that has been driving your destiny, stops. And the automatic designation of your destiny stops. And you're like not feeling like you want to pursue the same things, and life maybe does not make sense. Everything that you did before And it made sense because it was automated. It does not make sense anymore. So now you have empty space, time, and you might be like, what is this all about? And this is actually preparing you to die, or the conglomerate of persona that has been automated to die so you can be reborn. And because this is very deep and complex, then you need to figure yourself out a little bit, meditate a little bit, and see that you don't want to repeat this past programming, but you might not know what to do. But in the human blueprint, at the age of 33, you are supposed to be reborn as Christ. And what Christ is a simply consciousness that exists previous to even the 12 main colors of the Lego. So consciousness exists previous to this universe altogether. Actually, consciousness is playing many games, many different Lego sets, many different universes. So you could be said that you are the infinite experiencer of infinite universes. Now, ain't that a trip? Because here you were immersed all the way up to your Saturn return. You were really immersed in this character and the personality and everything that was automatically prompted. You know, your life was prompted and your reactions were prompted. And that was immersive experience, but it went on autopilot. And now this whole immersion dissolves and you are like, supposedly we're all one, playing to be different characters, and this universal one is like infinite, and then it also exists in the multiverse. Damn. What? You know? But now even that is maybe experienced, revealed as a logical assumption in, let's say, linguistic context or discourse, that I build this language that corresponds to this world of things, and now I'm talking about something completely metaphysical, so it's outside of this world of things. So, how does that compute? How am I here in this finite immersion, or in this like first-person perspective, and then also infinite at the same time? But now the metaphysical is also revealed to you, because as consciousness, you are having overlapping perspectives. You have the perspective here that is looking in your brain render and your nervous system immersion with this physical reality, but you also have transposed or superimposed perspectives where you are seeing all kind of other dimensions or non-dimensions here. So slowly, let's get this back into Kriya. Slowly you realize that you, as the observer of this experience, you are that which creates this whole generative console, the logos, and the experience of the universe. And it is pre-built into your avatar that now, when you do not have automated programming running your body, yes, that you can create, not as Joe or Mary, Tom, that you can create as that consciousness using the universal console. in the Bible this would be called the Father, and like the Joe is the Son, and the Father is the console or the universal logos. But actually, it is integrated that in the Son or Joe, you can control the 12 Lego streams by your fingertips. It's a remote control for the console, right? So you can just press fingertips and then go do different type of kriya or mudra, yeah? And somehow this affects entire reality, not just the surface reality, the physical reality that is perceived, and that you can work with from this perspective. Let's say I pick up the little coffee cup and I have a physical influence over my reality, right? Here we go. But with this, you are consciousness that is influencing the logos. So you're creating through the metaphysical, or you're creating through the universal console. Now that becomes now a whole new canvas. And then apparently the natal program you that has to defragment or die so you can be this free player, and whatever was your natal, your name, your last name, your affiliation with like family, society, whatnot, profession, all of that becomes something that was just there for your individuality to autopilot through the world until your body can grow, your chakras can activate, and you can learn to, walk as a toddler, then speak still as a toddler, being like and then words, and then more complex words, and then to feel and to exchange conversations and feelings with other beings, so relate to others, and to then travel the world a little bit and understand how to relate to the world and understand the general civilization, and from zero age to 33, this individual natal journey gives you this opportunity to grow to your full expression, all of your architectures to activate, then realize yourself as the ultimate dreamer beyond, and then re-immerse yourself into the play, but now having godlike ability. Now this godlike ability is infinite, but you're just now born in 33-year-old, and now you have to actually focus, direct your ability to create reality in some way, and you have this civilization, this planet, this canvas, and many other layers, okay, because you also have the multiverse. And you can also transpose your avatar to the multiverse. So Joe can now go into Shrekland or some other fantasy world. In other words, you're not limited to this plane, to this planet. So we could say in 33 you're actually born into your character. And now also there is infinite ways still to play the game, and you can also take your time, because you're here and you're not. There is no actual time. Time has been the linear experience of sequences of experiences, actually. Objects moving through the point, like the awareness, objects moving through awareness create animations, life, so it's a sequence that makes the interpretation of the sequence makes an experience of time. So we assume that time exists, but time does not exist. We do experience sequences of events and the interpretation of those as time. Now you are actually residing. You're actually residing as consciousness in the eternal moment. And time is kind of being animated here in front of you. So you can jump time, or you can load different timelines at your convenience. So you're always in the 0 point. It's like having a screen, and then you can load a movie and you can play the movie, but you can also play the movie later. You can play a TV show now, put something on Netflix, and then you'll have a sequence of objects moving through that screen, and you will interpret that as a TV show. So you can rest because there's no urgency anymore. And there is this world and infinite worlds for you to enjoy. And you have infinite time to bring yourself into play, or exploration, or focus, building something, creating something. And it's a free play because you don't have to do nothing in particular, or you can choose any venue or any time-space bubble or dimension, whatever you want to call it, and immerse yourself in that. So it's quite interesting. It's like a infinite RPG. Alright. If you want to sit together, I'm offering one-on-ones. You can go to my Instagram page, avatar _academy. So that's a lower dash, avatar _academy. On my Instagram bio, you have the link where you can book a session. In my one-on-ones, we can explore the infinite potential in a playful manner together. You can see how to consecrate reality with a written formula, magic formula if you will, or just a program that you write. You can consecrate anything up to a universe, so you can have your whole, you can project a whole new seed that then generates itself into your own personal universe, which is crazy. Or you can consecrate something smaller, like, reality in this planetary system or a planet or whatever, where you have like your little bubble and I don't know, maybe you have a farm. Another thing that I want to mention is that sometimes we as players in this game may miss the mark of our blueprint, which is like die and be reborn as this universal player or avatar, or your own unique individual universal avatar at 33, because we get stuck in a karmic loop, which means that we are perpetuating our earlier programming and still identifying with that. So we do not defragment the program, and then we stay in some kind of perpetual manifestation or looping manifestation or karma loop of whatever was intended for us to be, just this automated journey of growth. And then in that case we need to either repeat that until we allow ourselves to die and transform, or we can do the alchemical initiation or self-initiation or some kind of ritual where we dissolve, defragment that energy structure from the body and the subconscious, so we can localize ourselves at a 0 point and stay there. And now I'm going to tell you about actually my experience, because now it has been 7 years since I have been 33. So I went like this 7-year cycle and at 33 my everything activated. But then I was really confused because I didn't understand how the game works or what was happening, because I didn't really get the manual that like I can create reality from like right, and then just speak my words into the ether and they become the program, which becomes the timeline, and then experience that. And so I didn't have a manual, so I had to, just like a baby that learns to walk for the first time, I had to like sit down and like figure it all out. And when I was sitting, because I didn't have any program left, I would just sit like that, and then the world would like disappear, and then my avatar, my body would also dissolve, and then even the space, the depth and the width would like disappear, and I would just remain consciousness beyond form or any experience or mind even. So that didn't make sense, and then I tried to apply like physical action to reality and get something by knocking at the door of people and like asking people if they could like do something for me, and then they would say no, and then I would be like changing my assumption, and then they would say yes. And so after some time I realized, okay, you need to do everything etherically, like contemplate and ponder and prepare the experience, and then just play it out, and there's no necessity even to like do physical or energetic action before you have prepared a mental template of exactly what you want. So in a lot of ways I have tried to navigate the reality in the way that was kind of familiar to my previous self, that was just like people in the world, you ask them how to do something and they tell you, or if they tell you that you can or you can't. But this was not like applicable anymore. Simply, reality only wants to behave in the way that you assume it or imagine it. So you really have to kick back into the observer or the camera or the 0 point itself and get beyond the universal console and get beyond this 12. I know you see 10 here, but here's like 12 and here's you. 0, 1, 2, plus 10, right? So you have to get, and you have your own little keyboard here, so you script everything out with your little fingers, and each of these is one planet, and then this guy is the ruler of the planets. These are the yin and the yang. And these are the extensions. And by these you create, otherwise it won't work. So it took me about 7 years, and I'm still not like completely in the mastery of like everything, because as I've said, through the universal console you can really create whatever you want. I create a whole universe once and experience crazy stuff like your body want to levitate, or there are like objects like appearing out of nothing, or out of the ether, or out of like just the space. There's just like object manifesting or something. But I'm not really entrained with all of this like magic stuff. For me, these 7 years was more like understanding how I relate to people, and that if I change my assumption, the script will change and the people will not be consistent. It's like always quantum shifting into a different timeline based on what you assume about the world, and then people just like they shrink, they go tall, like same people that they used to be like consistent in my script up until the age of 33, they start becoming hella inconsistent. They start like shrinking, being taller one day, being healthy and youthful one day, being like old and like this, and I'm just like, well, okay, what is happening? And then one day a person is saying one thing, the other day is saying like a completely different thing, and I'm like, eh? Then I found Neville Goddard and the law of assumption, and it started to make more sense. But I still had to create like new interpretations mentally, new reasoning, and kind of entering myself into this new way of being. So just like interfacing with other humans and whatnot, with other players, it was quite nuanced, it was quite weird. Yeah. Well, there we go.